Revenge films. When the Nintendo DS that I won in an auction never arrived, I decided to call up the shipping company to check. The guy on the phone said,
Your neighbor Mrs. A said she would hold on to it for you.
I thought this was quite weird, considering I don't know my neighbors that well. But I bought some sweets as a sign of appreciation and decided to head over. A small boy answered the door, and I told him that I was from next door and asked him if his parents were home. He got his mother, so I asked her about my shipment, but she said, I don't have it. I told her that the shipping company is sure that they left it with her yesterday around noon. To which she replied, I have no clue what you're talking about. Shut up and get out of here. And shut the door on me and locked it. So I called the shipping company to file a complaint. The man who made the delivery told me,
The next door neighbor said that you weren't home much, and that she works with you, so she would leave the package at work for you. I even left the delivery notice for you.
He said. First of all, I don't even work with the lady. And she must have stolen the notice as well because I hadn't received that either. He went on to explain that he had a lot of deliveries that day, and in his haste, lost his judgment and left the package with the lady next door. He apologized and said he would cover the cost, but that wasn't enough for me. I told him that I wanted to sign a statement so I could file a report with the police. So that's what I did. The next day, the police were patrolling the neighborhood, telling everybody.
There have been some burglaries and sightings of suspicious people around here recently, so please be sure to lock your doors when you leave the house.
After going around, the police officer came over to say,
After an announcement like this, you can expect some sort of action.
I was out shopping for a couple hours, and when I returned home, there was something in my mailbox. It was a Nintendo DS. It wasn't packaged like I was told by the seller. It was just the Nintendo DS in its original box. I took a look at the DS, and the scratches were identical to what I had seen online. So I came to the conclusion that it was, in fact, the same DS that I won in the auction. I immediately went to the police station to report what had happened, and they said, Your fingerprints are on the box already, but if the Nintendo DS itself was touched by anyone other than you and the seller, their fingerprints will be on it. So I gave them my fingerprints and went home. I called the shipping company and updated them on the incident. And the man in charge apologized to me in tears. Later that day, the scary-looking husband from next door came over to pay me a visit. When I asked him what he wanted over the intercom, he said,
My wife told me that she borrowed your DS in a spur of the moment. But since she gave it back, is there any way we could settle things peacefully?
I've already filed a report with the police. She should have just given it back to me without lying to begin with. Not only did she lie to me, but she treated me terribly. I can't forgive that. I have no intention of taking back the report, I told him. To which he asked,
How much do I have to pay you to let this go?
So I replied, No amount of money will make me forgive her. I have no intention of ending this with some sort of settlement. She will pay for what she did. And if any of you do anything to harm me or the people around me because of this, I will sue your wife immediately. Be sure of that. And I hung up the intercom. The next morning, I was awakened by countless doorbell rings and someone kicking at the door. Hey, it's me from next door. Still half asleep, I opened the door, and it was the wife from next door, standing there with her son. Can we talk about the police report? It was my son who stole your Nintendo DS. He's still a child, and my husband doesn't make enough money to buy toys for him. Please, can you forgive him? I had so many thoughts in the moment. I know for a fact that it was she who lied about accepting the package. She says that her husband doesn't make much money, but they just bought a brand new BMW. On top of that, she damaged my door, so now I'll have to pay for that to be repaired as well. Are you seriously trying to blame your son for what you did? I left it at that and shut the door behind me. I could hear her voice outside. We don't have any games, so there's no way to use the DS anyways, right, son? A couple days later,
Hey, where's Mom?
Mom isn't feeling well. She's at the hospital, but she'll be back soon, okay?
Oh, okay. So that's why she brought the DS. To kill the time.
I could hear them from my room. It seems that the wife is behind bars now, according to the police.
So you stole your neighbor's video game,
I was just holding on to it for him.
but you lied about it and tried to keep it, didn't you?
I just forgot that I had it. I wasn't trying to steal it. She got up and assaulted the officers with her chair.
Alright, you need to cool down.
And off she went to jail. Afterwards, I was having a conversation with her husband, and he said,
My wife was sheltered and spoiled, and raised in a rich household, where if she wanted anything, all she had to do was ask. She always overspends, so I oversee the money and check carefully if she really needs what she's trying to buy. She saw that all her other mom friends had cutely decorated Nintendo DS's, and wanted one for herself to decorate. But I didn't allow it. And that's about the time she saw your package, which was labeled Nintendo DS, and couldn't help herself. I plan on getting a divorce and leaving here soon. I apologize for all the trouble that we've caused you.
He seemed intimidating when I met him before, but he must have been having a really tough time because he seemed worn out and weak. The next-door neighbors have moved out since then, and I now live a peaceful life. How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.